The Wheel of Time series is filled with legendary warriors, masterful channelers, and brilliant strategists, each wielding power that can change the course of history. Some are the strongest magic users the world has ever seen, while others possess battle prowess and tactical genius that make them nearly unstoppable in war and politics. But who among them stands at the pinnacle of power? This ranking considers raw magical strength, mastery of abilities, strategic brilliance, combat skill, and overall influence on the world. Now, let's count down the 10 most powerful characters in the Wheel of Time. 1. Ishamael/Moiraine. Yes, unfortunately, it's true. Ishamael, Fairs, the father of lies, is currently the most powerful character in the show. This is because he is thousands of years old and is the Dark One's right-hand man. He is the chief of the 13 Forsaken and the first one revealed to the audience. He stands on relatively equal ground with Rand. However, Rand hasn't exactly had many opportunities to learn how to control his powers yet, nor has he learned how to really use them. This makes Ishamael the most powerful since he can bend saidin to his will and use it for his nefarious purposes. He is a force to be reckoned with that will certainly not go down easily. Ishamael, later known as Moiraine, was the Dark One's most trusted servant, wielding both saidin and the true power, the most corrupt and destructive force in existence. As the first of the Forsaken and the most philosophically devoted to the Shadow, he believed that all things must end, and he sought to free the Dark One from his prison forever. His mastery of both the One Power and the True Power made him one of the most dangerous beings alive. Unlike the other Forsaken, who sought personal power, Ishamael was a true believer, making him far more ruthless and unpredictable. He was the only Forsaken who challenged Rand multiple times, often appearing as the mysterious Baalzamon in Rand's early battles. By the end, he was reborn as Moiraine, becoming the Shadow's ultimate champion. However, his obsession with destruction ultimately led to his undoing, proving that even the strongest fall when consumed by darkness. 2. Nynaeve Almira. Nynaeve Almira was perhaps the most naturally powerful female channeler of her time, rivaled only by the legendary Lanfear and Semirage. Unlike most Aes Sedai, whose strength in the One Power diminishes with time, Nynaeve's power continued to grow, making her one of the most formidable forces on the battlefield. Her true mastery lay in healing, where she broke centuries-old barriers by discovering new weaves that could heal even severed, stilled channelers. She was one of the few people capable of channeling saidar at an extraordinary level, and her anger-fueled power surges made her unpredictable in battle. By the last battle, she was one of the key figures in Rand's final confrontation with the Dark One, using her strength to protect and assist him in reforging the pattern itself. Her combination of raw strength, intelligence, and willpower secures her spot as one of the strongest women in the Wheel of Time. 3. Lanfear. Lanfear was the strongest female Forsaken, and many believed her power surpassed every other woman in history. In the Age of Legends, she was nearly equal to Lews and after joining the Shadow, she became one of the most dangerous forces of the Dark One's army. Her mastery over Teleran, the world of dreams, gave her abilities that no other channeler possessed, allowing her to manipulate reality itself in the dream world. This, combined with her unmatched cunning and ambition, made her one of the deadliest Forsaken. Her downfall, however, was her obsession with Therin. Unlike other Forsaken, who sought power for themselves, Lanfear's every action was fueled by love, jealousy, and revenge, which ultimately made her her own worst enemy. Great! Now, let's reveal the top 4 most powerful characters in the Wheel of Time with even more depth, analysis, and storytelling. These are the beings who shaped the fate of the world itself, wielding power on a scale beyond imagination. 4. Rand al'Thor. Rand al'Thor is the reincarnation of Lews, but he is far more than just a reflection of his past self. He is the Dragon Reborn, the champion of the light, and the only being capable of facing the Dark One directly. At the beginning of his journey, Rand was a simple farm boy, unaware of his destiny. But as he grew into his role as the Dragon Reborn, he surpassed even Lews in power, mastering not just saidin, but the very forces of reality itself. What sets Rand apart from every other channeler in history is that he is the only one who ever truly confronted the Dark One and won. In their final battle, Rand did not simply defeat Shaitan, he redefined the very nature of their struggle. Instead of sealing the Dark One away permanently or destroying him, Rand understood that the will required balance, and he forged a world where humanity had the freedom to choose light or shadow without outside interference. Rand's greatest strengths include unmatched raw power. He could channel more of the One power than any mortal before him, capable of weaving balefire on a massive scale and breaking entire armies with a thought. Mastery of multiple forces. Rand cleansed Sidon, ending the Shadow's control over male channelers forever. Understanding of the pattern. Unlike Lews Therin, who fought the Dark One with brute force, Rand used wisdom, philosophy, and an understanding of balance to create a lasting victory. By the end of the series, Rand became something more than mortal. He transcended death, walking away from his own funeral, his soul forever changed. This transformation ensures that he will never be trapped in the same cycle again, making him one of the most legendary figures in the entire Wheel of Time universe. 5. Logain Ablar. Logain was once a false dragon, but by the end of the series, he proved himself to be one of the strongest male channelers alive. Even after being gentled and later healed, his ability to channel massive amounts of Sidon was unmatched by most Aes Sedai and Forsaken. What makes Logain truly remarkable is his resilience and leadership. After being tortured and humiliated, he rose to lead the Black Tower, proving himself worthy of the title of dragon in his own right. His visions, including one that showed him with a halo of glory, hinted that his destiny was far from ordinary. By the last battle, Logain was second only to Rand in strength among living male channelers, and he played a crucial role in ensuring the survival of the light. 6. Moiraine Damodred. Moiraine Damodred, a noblewoman of Carrion and an Aes Sedai of the Blue Aja, may not be the strongest channeler, but she is one of the most powerful forces behind the scenes in the Wheel of Time. Without her determination, intelligence, and foresight, the Dragon Reborn might never have been found, trained, or prepared for his final battle. While others sought to control Rand al'Thor, Moiraine understood that he must be guided, not ruled. She dedicated her entire life to ensuring that he would be ready to face the Dark One, even when it meant sacrificing herself in the process. What makes Moiraine extraordinary is her unshakable faith in her mission. Unlike many Aes Sedai, who are caught up in White Tower politics, Moiraine dedicates her entire existence to a singular goal: finding and protecting the Dragon Reborn. She sacrifices her nobility, her influence in Carrion, and even her personal relationships in service of this duty. She endures exile, danger, and constant threats, never once straying from her purpose. From the moment she discovers Rand, she works tirelessly to ensure that he survives, grows, and embraces his destiny. Despite not being among the strongest channelers, Moiraine's mastery of the One power is remarkable. She is a skilled user of battle weaves, able to destroy shadow spawn with ease, and her intelligence allows her to wield her power far more effectively than many Aes Sedai who are technically stronger. However, her true power comes not from magic but from her mind. She is one of the most brilliant strategists in the series, outmaneuvering enemies who are physically and magically superior to her. Whether dealing with the scheming nobles of Carrion, the White Tower's internal politics, or the manipulations of the Forsaken, she always manages to stay several steps ahead. Moiraine's greatest moment of heroism comes when she faces off against Lanfear, one of the most powerful Forsaken, and sacrifices herself by pushing both of them through a ter'angreal leading to another world. This selfless act eliminates one of the Shadow's greatest champions at a crucial moment and proves her willingness to do whatever it takes to protect Rand and the light. Though many believed she was lost forever, she later returns, her power greatly reduced, but her wisdom and influence intact. Even in her weakened state, she plays a pivotal role in Rand's final confrontation with the Dark One. Moiraine is not the strongest in terms of raw power, but she is irreplaceable. She is the one who sets everything into motion, who makes the hard choices no one else can, and who ensures that the Dragon Reborn is prepared for his destiny. Her combination of intelligence, unshakable resolve, and willingness to sacrifice everything for the greater good makes her one of the most powerful and influential characters in the Wheel of Time, securing her place at number 11 on this list. 7. Siuan Sanche. Siuan Sanche, the Amyrlin seat of the White Tower, is one of the most politically powerful figures in the Wheel of Time. Though she was originally of the Blue Aja, her rise to Amyrlin elevated her above all Ajas, making her a ruler of all Aes Sedai and none at the same time. As the leader of the most influential organization in the Westlands, her authority is nearly absolute, allowing her to shape the future of nations, war efforts, and even the course of the Dragon Reborn's path. While Moiraine may be the one working in the shadows, Siuan is the one holding everything together in the open. The two of them trained together in the White Tower and formed a close friendship, bound by their shared mission to find and guide the Dragon Reborn. Despite the rigid structure of Aes Sedai life, their relationship was not just professional, it was deeply personal, even evolving into an intimate connection that strengthened their trust in one another. However, Siuan's role as Amyrlin meant that she could not afford to openly support Moraine's work, forcing her to navigate a dangerous balance between White Tower politics and her true mission. In terms of raw power, Siuan and Moiraine are equals. Both are strong channelers, though not among the most naturally gifted Aes Sedai. What sets Siuan apart is that, unlike Moiraine, she remains fully connected to the One Power throughout the series. Though Moiraine is the one working from the shadows, Siuan is the one holding the White Tower together, guiding Aes Sedai through the storm of political upheaval while secretly supporting the Dragon Reborn. Her unique combination of leadership, intelligence, and resilience earns her a place just above Moiraine, securing her spot at number 10 on this list. 8. Egwene Al'Vir. Egwene Al'Vir may have started as a simple village girl, but she became one of the most powerful female channelers in history. As Amyrlin's seat, she not only restored the fractured White Tower, but also stood toe-to-toe with some of the greatest forces of the age. Her strength in the One Power was immense, rivaling even the most powerful Aes Sedai and Forsaken. Her true power, however, was in her unbreakable will and unmatched leadership skills. She mastered the art of war, diplomacy, and channeling, making her a symbol of hope for the light. Her crowning moment came during the last battle, where she wielded the legendary flame of Tar Valon, countered Balefire, and sacrificed herself to defeat Mael, one of the most dangerous dreadlords of the Shadow. Her bravery, intellect, and raw power earn her a spot among the strongest characters in the series. 9. Lews Therin Telamon. Lews Therin Telamon, the original dragon, was the greatest male channeler of the Age of Legends and the leader of the forces of light in the war against the Shadow. As the strongest wielder of Sidon in recorded history, he commanded powers so vast that entire armies trembled at his presence. As the first dragon, Lews Therin was not just a warrior, but a brilliant leader, philosopher, and strategist. He united the greatest champions of the light and led a direct assault against the Dark One's prison, nearly ensuring the final victory of the light. However, his fatal flaw was his arrogance. In his boldest maneuver, he led the strike at Sheol Gul, successfully sealing away the Dark One and the Forsaken. But in doing so, he unwittingly doomed all male channelers, as the Dark One's last act before being sealed was to taint Sidon, causing madness, destruction, and the breaking of the world. Lews Therin himself became a tragic figure driven mad by the taint. He slaughtered his entire family, earning the name Kinslayer before ending his own life. His soul was reborn as Rand al'Thor, marking the beginning of an endless cycle of suffering, war, and sacrifice. Even though his legacy was one of destruction, Lews Therin's power was undeniable. He was the greatest channeler, general, and warrior of his age, and his influence extended far beyond his own lifetime, as his legend shaped the fate of the world for thousands of years. 10. Demandred. Among the Forsaken, Demandred stands out as one of the deadliest warriors and military masterminds in history. A powerful channeler of the One Power, he was nearly as strong as Lews Therin Telamon himself, making him one of the greatest male channelers ever to live. However, his true strength lay in his skill with a blade and his unmatched ability to command armies. During the last battle, he took command of the Shirans, an isolated but incredibly strong civilization, and led them in an onslaught against the forces of the light. His strategic mind and sheer combat prowess made him Rand's most dangerous enemy in direct battle. At the Battle of Merler, he single-handedly slaughtered dozens of warriors, proving himself to be one of the greatest blade masters of all time. Although his obsession with Lews Therin, Rand al'Thor, ultimately led to his downfall, his strength as a channeler, military leader, and swordsman secures his place in the top 10. Final epic most powerful ever. The Dark One. The Dark One, also known as Shaitan, is the embodiment of pure evil and entropy, existing outside of time and space, yet constantly seeking to break into the pattern and corrupt all of existence. He is not a mortal being, nor even a channeler, but rather a cosmic force of destruction, a being that desires not just dominance, but the total annihilation of reality itself. Throughout history, the Dark One has influenced the world by corrupting individuals, offering them immortality, power, and forbidden knowledge in exchange for their loyalty. The Forsaken, some of the greatest channelers of the Age of Legends, willingly gave their souls to serve him, believing that he would ultimately unravel the wheel and free them from rebirth. Even though he is sealed away, his presence alone is enough to cause plagues, madness, and widespread war, demonstrating his immense influence even when imprisoned. As his seals weaken, his touch spreads across the world, causing famine, decay, and war, proving that his power is felt even when he cannot act directly. However, the Dark One's greatest limitation is that he is bound by the pattern itself. While immensely powerful, he is not truly omnipotent. His ability to affect the world is limited by his prison, and even when his influence is at its peak, he relies on mortal followers to carry out his will. Unlike the Creator, who chooses not to interfere, the Dark One is constantly struggling to break free but never truly succeeds. In the end, the Dark One's ultimate weakness is that he is a force of destruction, not creation. He does not build, strategize, or rule. He only corrupts and destroys. This makes him an existential threat, but one that is ultimately constrained by his inability to act without servants. Despite this, his raw cosmic power, ability to twist reality, and influence over time itself make him one of the most formidable forces in the Wheel of Time. Final thoughts. The Wheel of Time is filled with incredible warriors, scholars, leaders, and beings of immense power, but at the top of them all stand Rand, Lews Therin, the Dark One, and the Creator. These figures shaped history, redefined fate, and determined the destiny of the world itself, proving that true power is not just about strength, but about understanding, leadership, and the ability to change the pattern itself. Who do you think was the most powerful? Let me know.